segue. Hi, I'm Nancy MacIntyre. I'm the CEO and founder of Fingerprint Play. We're an educational gaming platform for kids and their grown-ups, so nice segue from the previous presentation. So I'm going to introduce you to yet another character. This is a real-life character, my cousin Susie from Frederick, Maryland, which is actually quite different than Silicon Valley, so you made a great point earlier. So Susie's got a 6-year-old daughter, Ivy. She's a little scared of both the iPad and the App Store, but she chose to download her first Fingerprint app. She registers using Facebook. She inserts Ivy's name so she has a connection with her daughter. She tells Ivy what to call her in the app, and then she records a surprise message for Ivy so that when she starts playing, she knows she's engaged. So here's Ivy. She's 6 and she loves apps. This is the Fingerprint Play Center. This is where Ivy manages all of her apps from both first and third party. You can think about it like the menu on your television in that it gives access to all the content available on the device. She goes to her My Games area. Here's Whole Wide World. Let's go to Whole Wide World and check out the first app. She's playing the world one game at a time. She spins the globe. She chooses an exciting location like Australia, meets her host, Matilda, and they decide to go off on an amazing learning adventure, riding a kangaroo, of course, across the outback. There they answer math facts to get to the next level. Maybe they go to Egypt. In Egypt, they might go on a hunt for letters so they can spell words like desert or pyramid or sphinx, for example.
You spelled the word desert.
Whole Wide World is a progressive game. Ivy's earning badges as she goes through, stamps that really progress her through the content. And when she's done, she earns a postcard that she can send off to her mom or dad, telling where she's been and what she's learned. Now it's Susie's turn again, because this is a shared experience. We're logging play data and actually reporting it out to Susie so she can know what Ivy has been playing all through every app. We communicate to her via 3 different methods. The first is Facebook, for those moms that like to brag and show what their kids are actually up to. The second is email, where we send insightful messages to mom, including product recommendation. The third and most powerful method is actually the Fingerprint Parent Center that lives on every app. Here you get a real-time news feed of everything your child has actually been playing, and that's tied to detailed product recommendations so you know what to buy next for your child in the App Store and answer the question about how do I know my child is going to like what they're playing and they want to play next. Susie can also send messages to Ivy so that Ivy knows that she's paying attention to what game she's playing. Check this out.
You have a message. Here's what your message says. I'm proud of you.
So pretty cool, right? First time that mom can actually send an in-app message directly to her child and bring the connection in there. So we'd like to bring Ivy back to the Play Center so that we can expose her to new games. This is the Play Center. We've got 14 apps, 9 are third party, 5 are first party. They're all built on an SDK that's enabling us to scale our content very quickly based on the Fingerprint platform. She chooses Big Kid Life Firefighter today. With mom's permission, she downloads it very simply through the App Store. And then magically, the app appears in her My Games area, which is a consolidation of all the Fingerprint apps that she's downloaded. So now here's Big Kid Life.
Two trees. What a challenge.
You know, I should really let the apps speak for themselves, but she will save fire monsters. She will put out fire monsters, save animals, and then to progress through levels, she'll have to enter curriculum that's appropriate, in this case, for a 3 to 5-year-old. So you can see she's having as much problem with the animals as I am.
Orange.
So, of course, we are logging the play data, reporting it back to mom, and then progressing her every step of the way so she can save the day. This app has been played over 25 times by the average child. And what we're finding is that kids are coming over and over to the platform. We've actually had over 2 million play sessions, 16 million minutes of play. 250,000 families have played since we launched in December. So we're really seeing that the circle of playing, learning, and sharing between parent and child is working quite well. So that's Fingerprint. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about what we've learned so far. So we did launch in December. We've got some pretty good early traction, but we're learning a lot. The first is we need to make it very easy for third parties to integrate. So we've built a series of tools that let third parties just easily get into the platform. So this is just a super simple way that we build a tool so that developers can put their own Facebook messages into the platform, and that is really rocking. Second, we realized we built all these elaborate parent features, but they were behind a registration wall because we knew we needed to register. So over the last 3 months, we've really iterated, starting with a simple Facebook method. Then we went into, okay, we're going to try email. We went from that to various different methods, including giving away free games, until we finally landed on where we were today, which is showing mom an educational video that really promotes registration. And we've seen our registration numbers go up by 3-fold so far. And last but not least, getting downloads isn't enough in the App Store. And so we really recognize that we need to design all of our apps and work with our third parties to make sure that we're designing for retention. This is an example in whole wide world. We created a ticket system where kids buy tickets so that they need to go to the next location. They've got to buy a ticket, and it's worked amazingly well in terms of keeping kids coming back over and over again. And after the first 3 weeks, we had 50% of our kids still playing. So we know that's working. So we're Fingerprint, educational gaming platform for kids.
Thanks. Well done. Okay. That was great to have Ducky Deck and then Fingerprint go back to back, and the sort of parent-child engagement in games and in apps. What do you guys think? I saw a lot of heads nodding or shaking different directions.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty awesome application, actually. You've done a great job, a lot of positive things. Could you talk a little bit about your business model? You made some references also to recommendations, and I'm a little curious about whether any of those recommendations, whether there's revenue associated with those, and how we should think about those.
Yeah, that's a great question. Our model is pretty simple today. We work with third parties on a rev share basis that's directly related to the amount of money that we put into the development. So we rev share based on anything we generate out of the App Store. We also sell our own apps on both a freemium and a purchase perspective. And you can imagine that as things begin to evolve with Apple in the App Store and we begin to scale our content, we'll move to a subscription model. We're beginning to see some pretty interesting things happening there. So, you asked a question about referrals. That's not our intention now, but never say never.
Thank you.
Sure.
Great. More feedback?
Can you talk a little more about the numbers? You kind of started like lots of millions of minutes played. Like how many downloads have you had? How'd you get those? And like, what are the unit economics, since you already go down the number route?
So we've had roughly 350,000 downloads. That has translated into about 250,000 individual families playing so far. We've done that on very.
How's the number of families smaller than the number of downloads? Well,
because some families download multiple games.
Okay.
And some people download and they don't actually become users. What we have been effective doing is sort of a combination of traditional marketing around social marketing and PR. We put our first application up and we went from 0 to 12,000 Facebook likes in about a month, which we were blown away by, and we started to get a tremendous amount of conversation going just with moms. And our whole focus is we're going after that connected mom, and apologies to all the dads in the audience, but it's really about mom as the gatekeeper. And we went after that connected mom because she's on Facebook, Pinterest. She's super easy to get to as a marketer. So we really went after her effectively. And then, I'm not ashamed to say, we did customer acquisition marketing using, the usual suspects like Fixu and Tapjoy, et cetera, and really have been able to hone our system down that we've got an initial customer acquisition cost of around 60 cents. And then once we bring the customer into the platform, on average, we've converted that customer to about 1.5 apps. So we're moving them through the funnel. So we really think about our business much like a television channel. I get them to Nickelodeon, and I don't want that kid changing the channel. And so, the lifetime value gets interesting.
Feedback from the panels.
Yeah, I mean, I think my only addition to that would be it's very hard to argue with hard data. So I like the fact that not only did you have the download figures, but also usage figures. I think that was really, really helpful. I also really like the fact that you know your user really well. You know that you're targeting the parents. I like the parent integration. I love the fact that parents can record their own kind of greetings, or I see that with my own son, that whenever I give him like that approval, like I can totally see the bonding. The one slight little detail, like the mom's message was in a male voice, that should have been in a mom's voice, but other than that, I think it was a great presentation.
Yeah, well, just to respond to that, thank you very much, by the way. Ordinarily, the mom actually records the message herself.
Another question. Yeah. Or any feedback?
I think you guys are rocking on all levels. I mean, from marketing, user experience, I think this is awesome.
Yeah, it's really well done. Joe, any feedback?
I think the parents' feedback, I think like a dashboard, I think that could be improved because that seemed really cluttered. Like you had a kind of like a Twitter feed going down of every individual app, and I think that could be summarized a little bit better.
Yeah,
great.
Thank you.
Okay, great feedback. What's your fingerprint
Thank
play?
you,